I'm Lisa.
And I'm Anton.
And this is the journey of turning our dream of Celtica into a reality.
Hospitality really meant something to our Celtic ancestors, and over the years that we've been together, we've been told again and again how much people love to come and stay with us.
Guest teachers have come from all over the world. Many a dinner has been cooked, many a tale told, and much love and laughter shared within our home.
In this series, we follow the building of Ty Noddfa Bach, our little sanctuary, and the first step on the path that leads to Celtica.
There's a lot of work to be done, so let's get started.
Hey, good morning guys. So today's the day where the barn restoration expert comes along to have a look and see what's going to happen with our old I guess 18th century, and it may be early 18th century. He's going to come along and tell us about that, but it's a peg barn, and it's made with beautiful hand-hewn beams. You can tell that. So I think it's a little bit earlier than we perhaps thought. We thought it was maybe 1780. It may now be something like 1740, which would be wonderful. So we finally finished cleaning up last night. We were too filthy and too exhausted to really do a little piece to camera or what have you, but I'll do you a quick walkthrough, and hopefully when the fella comes, he'll let me film him, and he can tell you some of the things about the barn, which might be pretty interesting. But let's have a look and see how we did, and we'll just give you a quick walkthrough and we'll show you some of the issues. Basically, we believe the whole barn is going to have to be dismantled to restore it, but that's okay. Now this part, which is the lower part, which we've now cleaned out, all of this stuff is in here just temporarily, and will get moved. This is the stuff that we're keeping, but we just need to clear a space to move that into. Some of this stuff is kind of old and interesting and super collectible, so I might be doing a couple of eBay things with these. For example, that's an Amstrad PCW8256, which was the first personal computer word processor done as an all-in-one, with a monitor, disk drive and all that kind of stuff. Predates the iMac by a decade at least, maybe yeah, a decade, at least a decade. So these are kind of cool. And we've an Apple Macintosh Quadra 840 AV, which was an absolute screaming power horse in his day, and a LaserWriter Select, which is kind of cool. So all this stuff it works and it's in perfectly good condition, so we're gonna stick that up on eBay at some point. But anyway, you're not come to look at the junk that we're keeping. Well, it's not junk, but let's have a look and see where we're at. So as you can see at the moment, there's the whole corner is rotted out here. And if you look closely, you can see that the barn has actually subsided into the corner quite strongly here. So this obviously needs fixing. But I think he tells us that the barn probably just needs to come down. And they'll take it away and they'll restore it in their workshop, which is pretty amazing. Maybe we'll get a road trip up there to look at the workshop or something. But let's take you through the other part. Oh, Lisa's come to join us now. So
yeah, remember that this stuff was junk?
There you go. Your turn.
It was full of junk over our heads. So that whole side has been cleaned out. There's still a small family of bats in the eaves.
Yeah, they're gonna have to find another home.
This whole side has been cleaned out, and we found some treasures for the Celtica Museum, some old ice tongs and scythes and things. And yeah, want to have a walk on in and show them even further.
Let's have a walk on in. Not going to be climbing up anything, but if we look over here, we've cleaned out all of the hay lofters now. This was absolutely full of junk and bits of wood and all manner of whatever that had been sort of stuck here for years and years and years. It's like, oh, can I just throw this in the barn, Poppy? Oh, can I just throw this in the barn, Poppy? And what have you. And so, yeah, we found some treasures. We found old school reports going back to the 30s and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll be making a little I don't know, something of that. Oh, we're going to try and get in there as well. I should have brought the light. But you can see this is the main issue with the barn right now. This post, I don't know how well you can see, but this post broke. Yeah, I mean, I guess what's happened is over the years the water's gotten in. The barn's gotten surrounded by trees, and the unfortunate thing is the trees have allowed the barn to keep and stay quite wet. This one somebody bumped, the neighbor bumped and had to basically make a little piece, but that broke, which is probably what caused that to break, the other one to break, the other side, as you can see.
Less than 5 wheelbarrows.
Oh yeah, no less than 5. Some of them are quite ancient. I don't know if you can see that one in there at the far back of the shop, but that's holding up part of it. So we're not moving that right now. You can see there's all sorts of, there's like concrete blocks. There's some bizarre piece of I don't know what it is, an air conditioning plant or whatever that's holding something up. So we've been very, very careful as to not to precipitate a total collapse of the barn as we were clearing this out. But yeah, here we go. There's an old 351 Windsor engine. I'm going to tidy that up a little bit, and that's going on eBay. Yeah, this previous owner will consider that abandoned at this point. So if you're in the market for a 351 Windsor, it's probably gone by the time you see this video. Oh, that's got to go to, fortunately our recycling centre. I can get that old TV there. But we couldn't get in here. It was absolutely wrecked. There's still a little bit of cleaning up to do. We've got to rake the floor and level it. There's all bits and pieces of wire and junk in this part. I don't know how well you can see, probably not at all. But
33 tires.
Yeah, 33 tires. This was just like the junk house from wherever. So
33 tires and maybe 100 fluorescent bulbs that cost $2 a piece to recycle.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
The tires were between $3 and $5. I like this thing. It's an old forge, and it kind of reminds me of something from Star Wars.
Oh yeah. Well, you know,
and in that are some letters from the 20s to Mr. Miller, who was a school teacher in the Wallkill School District. Modena School District was Modena then.
Well, this was a Miller farmhouse once upon a time.
Yeah, I lived in the Miller farmhouse, but the barn is much older than that.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And yeah, and we've just, this entire pile of scrap wood came out. This is the wood that we can actually maybe cut up and use in a fire pit or in our fireplace, but
it's not really good enough to use for anything for building. We've kept useful planks. If anything, you know, springs to mind out of there, we'll be dealing with that. So if anything that looks like we can use it springs to mind, that it's useful, we may keep it. You know, I'm sorry.
So we're about midway through our cleaning hell because we've still got to take everything out and sweep everything up. But
yeah, but
I think we've made 15 dump trips
at least.
and at least 10 scrap metal runs.
Let's show you the big problem with this tree here. I don't know. This is the scary thing. These are the reasons why. So, I don't know if it's holding it up or pushing it over is the long and the short of it. So we'll when the barn restoration expert comes today, he's going to tell us what to do with this tree. He initially said if the tree guys get here before he did, then have them just take it down and leave the bit that's leaning against the barn and take that down later, which of course we could do. So yeah, but he may change his mind and decide that it's actually trying to push the barn over actively. But we got tree guys. They're really wonderful. It's Limber Tree. They're coming next Monday. Yeah, Limber Tree Service. They're bloody excellent. We would strongly recommend them. They come and they don't leave a mark.
We'll document that too.
We'll document that too. Yeah, because there's going to be lots going on. Let's have a wander around the back here and see. We've still got some more cleaning up to do, but we're getting there. Here the harvesting is giving it large. I'll try and get a better view of the back of the barn. It's in sorry shape is the unfortunate thing. As you can see that's where the tree has gotten in there. And you can see it's like up towards the top of the roof. But this is such a beautiful structure. We're really hoping that we can save it. It'd be a damn shame if we can't, but this fella reckons this is what he does. Oh, and I'm falling over stuff there.
Well, that's Mike's going to start over there today.
Yep. So yeah, there you go. We'll nip around there. We got to move this wood shed. We're going to with some of the shingles we found, we're going to put a lid on it. So we've got a wood shed. We've got to get rid of these horrible fluorescents yet. They're not very environmentally friendly. As you can see in this side of the barn, still lots to be removed here. This cherry has got to come out, unfortunately. There's a yew which is way too close to it. Unfortunately, that's got to come out. And it's quite possible, but this tree round here is actually on our neighbour's property, but it's so close to it, it may be causing a problem. So again, we'll see what the barn guy says. We can get to it. You can see it's pretty close to the corner, and if not, we'll just have to try and take some of the branches off it because it's really doing a number. But I don't know if I can get through here, climb through some of the mess. You can see there's the corner. This is what happens when there's no airflow around it and the water builds up. It just rots everything away. So we've got much to do here, much to do. So we'll chat to our neighbour in due course. You can see there's another part where it's bowed up through there. But once we get some of these out the way, it'll look a lot better. But yeah, I believe it's going to have to be complete, dismantled and rebuilt. But so be it. It's survived a few centuries, so it would be nice if it could survive a few more. Alrighty. Hey guys, so as promised, we've now got our rather wonderful fellow by the name of Don Pulaski with us. He's somewhat of an expert on ancient barns, and he's going to tell you all about our amazing barn that we've got and see if we can actually do something with it. So, over to you, Don. Are you up for this job?
Hello folks, my name is Don. I'm standing in front of I believe a 1720 to 1760 3-bent 2-bay barn that was built on grade. It was not originally built as a hay barn. I believe it was used for a carriage barn. 3-bent, meaning that you got 11 feet in between the bent and the depth of the barn is 22 feet, so it's 22 by 22, which is kind of like a Dutch version of a built barn. The barn is made out of chestnut. The type of the frame is called tie below the plate frame. The timbers was hewn with a combination broadaxe and as. It's a scribe rule barn, so when they lay out the timber, they did not use a square rule. They scribed each joint at a time. Again, this barn is 22 by 22. From the floor to the top of the tie beam, it's roughly 11 feet, and then you get another 3 feet, so the overall height is roughly about 14 feet. Got a roof pitch of 7/12 roughly. It's a wonderful barn, needs a lot of attention, and the time you see the video, it'll be a lot better looking than this.
I hope so. Thank you so much.
All right, I think this is the end of like day 13, and I'm still dressed like Cinderella, as you can see, Cinderella. But I just wanted to show you some progress, right? So this is a dump run for Thursday that has the last of the 33 tires and some more bags of rubble and garbage. The 89 Mustang is going to go to be restored as well, so it's going to be really happy.
We'll do a separate video.
We'll do a separate video for that. That's a black 5-liter 89 Mustang, one female owner from new, 150,000 miles on the same clutch. Just saying. So the cherry tree and the maple and the yew have to come out, but the pine tree that my dad and I planted when I was little, that came from the Adirondacks, is safe. That can stay. All right. So as you can see, things look a little bit cleaned up. That huge pile of wood got really lowered into just the old sawhorse.
Because I'm covered in sawdust.
Yeah, covered in sawdust today. So we have one more load of scrap metal to go to the scrap metal place. We put up these log cribs over here. This is some older wood that we had that I'll show you from another little log house wood crib thing we had before. So there's all the kindling. That came out really nice. And this is all the regular logs for the fire, because these giant black walnut trees are what killed the barn. We'll come back to that in a minute too. So we have a couple things we're going to come back to. I just wanted to show you what we've done with all the scrap wood. So the tons and tons of wood that was stacked above our heads, Anton has cut up into, I think they're about 16 or 18 inch lengths. And they're out here by the old chicken coop. And those can be used in the fireplace, but they're more like fire pit or chimney. Then we also, around the side of the pool, hid our dregs, right? So we have pine and the old cedar shakes and more of that yucky wood pile. And then everything that we found that was garden tools and garden pots and all that kind of stuff that came out of the barn, we've put under this tarp on some shelving. So we've got enough garden stuff for probably 10 greenhouses, although we're only planting 3. Oh, we have a stone circle. All right, so there are 2 empty wood cribs plus most of that long empty crib in anticipation of the black walnuts. Sorry, I'm walking on some uneven ground. But progress has been made. Only a saw bench, a little old saw bench. All right, so this is a pallet little woodshed where that kindling and bigger wood came out of. And we found some shingles when we're cleaning the barn. So Thursday's project is 3 dump runs, a scrap metal run, and then we're going to put shingles and try to make this a little bit nicer, put some sheeting and some shingles. and move this over behind the old chicken coop because we really think there's going to be way too much wood from these giant trees. There's a dump run of scrap wood that we really just couldn't do anything with. It's either pressure treated or old veneer things and God knows what. So that's going to go to the dump. All that big brush heap is all cleaned up. We just have our compost there. Here's the shingles on the little cart that we found. So there's some small shingles and almost two packets of regular shingles. I'm sure that'll do fine for the wood shed. 12 bags of lawn waste from the mess around the back, all the cut up grapevines and all that kind of stuff. We'll probably have a couple more dump runs when we get cleaning. And as you know, Don was here today, Don from Antique Barns, and he told us that this section of the barn and this section of the barn, this middle section, is from 1720 to 1740. I don't know if you can see the pegs. Then he said that this end was an add-on in the 1800s. So he's going to restore these 3 sections. And then he told us that this section over here, which my dad used to always tell me was the hayloft, that this was added maybe as late as the 1900s, early 1900s. So he doesn't want anything to do with this section. So there are going to be some modifications made. But we're really, really excited, and we will keep documenting. We've sorted a bunch of stuff out for Celtica's museum. We've got a bunch of stuff sorted out for yard sale, and next week begins the big wood project where they're going to come and take down these trees. They'll take away the brush. We're going to keep all the wood, so we're going to have the wood in this little woodshed, haha. And then we're going to get tarps for those 4 wood cribs, of which only 2 1/4 are left to fill. We may be making more of those weird V wood cribs for temporary storage, but we figured that the cut up scrap pieces that we burn in the chimney, if they weather, they weather. We want to invest in a better place for the good wood that'll be for our fireplace. And this will be renovated, and I can't wait for you to see the journey. We're going to document as much as we can. So again, we'll be back on Thursday with 3 dump runs, a scrap metal run, and a revive the pallet woodshed. That's it for tonight then.
Yes.
All right.
Time for a shower, I
Thank
think.
you all for watching. Yes, and it's time for a shower and to get out of the Cinderella scrubs.
I'm having one of these non-soda sodas. They're really nice, these.
But they're not soda.
No, well, they're not. They're carbonated, but it's water.
Yeah.
And it's all that's in it is water. There's no sodium. There's no sweetener. There's no calories.
He's been hydrating, so that's good.
Yeah, no, they're actually really nice and virtuous, I have to say.
All right then.
Virtuous.
All right, we're gonna go in and cook dinner.
Oh, well,
finish
you're
a
gonna
load
cook
of
dinner.
laundry. Cook dinner, finish a load of laundry, and take a shower and collapse. I don't know what order it's going to be.
I don't know.
But yeah, this old barn, she's really happy, and I'm excited that it's got the history that it does. I mean, pre-Revolutionary War, 1720s to 1740s, was an old carriage barn. Yep, older than the U.S. Probably, Dutch settlers. And he said he could tell this because of the chestnut beams. And shortly after the mid-1700s, all the chestnut trees were gone to New York for building. So he said he knows he can date it to the early 1700s, which is really exciting. So this poor old girl is going to get an amazing makeover.
She's going to look better than she's ever looked, I would think.
All right. Yeah. We're going to go into our little house and have dinner.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.